And welcome once again, fans of flip clocks. We're going to look at another Caslon by Copal. This is the Caslon 701 alarm clock. The clock was about $120 in 2017 dollars back in 1970. It came out in 1969. Later in 1970, you can get it for about $95 in our dollars. And then by 1972, this digital space-age illuminated electric clock was about $88. It disappeared from advertisement in 1973, but here it appears in our FlipClockFans studios, the Caslon Model 701. And most of your advertisements will say it's avocado colored, and by God, they're right. If you look, the flesh there of the avocado matches the face. It's not just avocado colored, it looks like an avocado. Now, we got this off eBay, and it's in filthy shape, but boy, I'd rather have a dirty flip clock than one someone's been screwing with. And doing an initial check here, it looks like everything's together and working. Now, the seller did say the motor wasn't turning, but everything's flipping the way it should. Some dirt here and there. So what I'm going to show you today is we're going to do a disassembly and try to get that motor running. So we've got 4 screws on the clock, these 2 longish ones that go into plastic, and then we've got 2 that hold the clock mechanism in place. And these happen to have washers on there. There's a lock washer closest to the top, and then a flat washer. So we have to get the alarm switch off, and we'll use a little bit of leverage here. You want to protect your clock, but it comes off with steady pressure. Looks like a Lego block. Anyway, you're just going to lift off here. Nothing fancy. No secrets. You just lift it off. And the cord is fed through the back piece. So we can just move it out of the way here. And later that'll allow us to clean without even taking the cord out. So from the Caslon 201, the earlier clock, we know that, well, there's a surprise. That's a washer. That washer goes between the clock mechanism and the base of the clock. There'll be 2 of them. But like I was saying, the knob here, the control for the alarm setting in the flipper, on the Caslon 201 it was screwed in, and I'm looking around, there is no screws, so we can go ahead and pull off. And it's very, very tight, so I pull out the 1 dial first, push it back in, and that'll let me grab this flip knob, and with some considerable force here I can get it off. And we see that that's got one of those metal bands, and sometimes those bands will stick tight to the metal, and this comes off quite easily after that, and that's just plastic on plastic. So we just simply remove the mechanism, and there's that other washer right there. It's kind of a hard feeling substance. It's not really rubbery, but now this is interesting. The face of this clock, which is real glass, which is always nice. The earlier clocks had that real glass, but the face is held in place by these bands here, and this is something new. I've never seen it done like this before, and you can tell on either side the band is like a spring material, and it's held in place. So I've got me a pick here, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of bend it a little more to release that and fish it out of there. There you go. And the reverse would be the same to get it back in. Nothing fancy. So, yeah, that's what you do. You just throw it down when you know you've got glass. So anyway, yeah, we've got some dirt there over the years. But, of course, glass is not going to have very many scratches on it, unless you throw it around like I do. And there the face here, really nice shape, just dirty. So turning our attention to the mechanism, I power it on, and look at that light. The clock doesn't look like it's been disassembled, but that light looks brand new. I'm telling you, I've never seen one that good looking. So the motor should be turning now, and these motors, when you face it, they turn counterclockwise. And it just feels gunky. They usually should spin freely. and I see a little motion going on there. It's warming up, and there it goes. Okay, but that's not going to be enough, because when the clock is shut off or when you stop it, you see that it goes back to that. So we've got to get that moving freely. And there's, I don't want to dunk this in alcohol. I've done that before. The reason is I don't want to screw up that tape that's on that whirligig there that makes the design. It's an interesting design. It really suits the clock. And so I'm going to drop some oil down in. And exactly why these clocks don't spin, I've been going back and forth on what causes that. I'm starting to think that between the wheel here and the where the axle seats, there's just a layer of gunk that gets in there. Now, I'm using a clock oil, and that didn't work exactly. I had to go to like a REM oil, which is a gun oil. Has a little more cleaning properties, and then I repeated with the clock oil, and you can see that it freed it up just fine. So now look here, when I was flipping around testing it, you can see the numbers there on the hours are different colors. So there is no AM and PM written on there, but you have white numbers here and then kind of a teal green. So I think that's awesome. You can choose whichever one you think's AM or PM, but I just think that looks great. And that's there it is there, the Copal made, Copal of Japan, Caslon 701 alarm clock. Very nice clock.
When you get the time, come visit us at FlipClockFans.com.
こんにちは、日本人の皆さん。お時間があるときに、どうぞ私たちのサイトをご訪問ください。FlipClockFans.com ありがとうございました。